Got some deep thoughts on a Tuesday. Jack and I were having a discussion last night, and Jack does not believe in having any social media presence at all. It was just a few years ago that he got email and he texts, but we were talking about the internet and we were talking about social media, and I'm going to paraphrase, but he said he read something that the internet's business model is to collect data, which is one of the main reasons that things like social media and smart homes. He's got a problem with smart homes. If your refrigerator is telling you that you're out of orange juice, who does it benefit? It benefits the store because you're going to go buy more orange juice. So we had some deep conversation yesterday. I love having those kinds of deep conversations. It's way better than, chatting about our dogs. Today I had lunch with a former colleague and a really good friend, and we were talking about the same thing. When she sat down, she said, "Oh yeah, I'm not on Facebook anymore." And I told her about the conversation with Jack. Right before that lunch, I read an article about this very thing. Social media, the internet, it's a distraction. And the theory goes in this article that every time you get a ding or a like or a sound or a beep from your phone that says somebody liked your post, it triggers something in your brain. The endorphins go crazy in your brain. It's just like eating chocolate. It's an addiction. You want more and you want more, and so you post more and you're on more. And because you're doing that, because you're addicted, you're doing shallow work. So you're not able to focus. The article goes on to talk about a book, and I'm going to look down at my notes. The book is called Deep Work by Cal Newport. Deep Work by Cal Newport. And this book talks about getting away from the distractions in life, the addictions like our internet presence and our social media presence, and getting back to doing deep work, because that deep work will give you optimal experience, give you more bandwidth in your brain, change the way your neurons work in your brain. And it's more satisfying and you get better work done. The theory goes that you work shorter, but you'll create more because you're in the zone. A few episodes ago, I was talking about flow and being in the zone. Optimal human experience. Optimal human experience. So that's what it really is. It's working hard in short periods of time, but it's deep work. And you're doing more than if you were answering an email and checking your Facebook and answering a text and you're in the deep work. Part of this article shared a synopsis by a guy named Brian Johnson. He does these sort of Cliff Note versions of books, and he shares big ideas from the books. He's actually really fascinating, so I'm following him now, following his podcast. I'll leave you that information too. But what I wanted to talk about today was this concept of deep work. And did you know that if you do a challenge like SSSVEDA, Sexy Savvy Social, vlogging every day in August, that is part of this deep work? According to Cal Newport in his book Deep Work, and according to how Brian Johnson broke it down, I'm going to share some of these with you really quick. The thoughts are, I'm looking down at my notes, a myelin workout. That's your brain. That's the changing the neurons, your neurons in your brain, and changing it so you have more bandwidth. And by doing focused, deep work, that will happen. We have what's called attention residue, which is so right. He says there's no such thing as multitasking. Multitasking doesn't exist, because if you're going from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, you still have the residue from the last thing in your next thing that you're doing. So you can't really truly focus. So what you need to do is you need to take time blocks. Time blocks where you're just working on one thing. You're not checking your email, you're not checking your phone, you're not listening for the ding. You've got these time blocks of 15, 20 minutes where you're focused solely on one task. And by doing that, then you develop these routines. Do something every single day. SSSVEDA for me is helping me with this deep work because I have something to do every day. It's a routine. I have to do this vlog every day for 30 days because I committed, and that's the whole key. You commit to it. Carve out that time where you're doing just that. You're not checking your emails. You can't because you're on video. Well, I guess I can show you me checking emails on video. You're really in the zone. You're in the flow. You're doing the thing. You're crowding out the distractions, which is another thing that the book talks about. And it also says that you have to do something that you are just wildly passionate about. This will help train you to do this deep work. And for me, it's this vlogging. And for you, it might be the vlogging as well. So you take something you're wildly passionate about, you commit to it, you have a routine, you set up a routine, you set up these time blocks where you're doing just that. You're not listening to anything else. And the final thing is shut down complete. So the author says he stops at 5 p.m. every day. He doesn't work late. He doesn't believe in working long hours. He doesn't work weekends. He finishes what he needs to, but then he says out loud, shut down complete. And then he can recover. Because the concept is if you go hard, you need that time to recover. You'll be in the flow of optimal performance. Wow. That's a lot for today. Doing something every day, being in that zone of something that I really, really like, it's helping me. It's helping me find my purpose. It's helping me find that next step. I learned a lot today. And so I wanted to share it with you. I still think that social media is an important part of my life, and I'm not gonna be like Jack and not have a presence because I like connecting with others. So I'm going to continue to do that. And with this vlog, I'm hoping to connect with more others. So anyway, that's my deep thought on a Tuesday. What are your deep thoughts? Ooh, got a like.